What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. So another comparison between these, I'm going to be dropping these like non-stop. For some reason my Galaxy S10 just loves to dim its brightness on me all the time. But we're going to be comparing, this is the first time I've compared a new iPhone to a new Android device for this specific comparison trend. So early on this year we did the iPhone XS versus the Galaxy S10, all that. But this time we're doing the iPhone 11 Pro, which is the newest iPhone Apple just released, you guys already know this, versus the newest, I would say still the newest Samsung Galaxy flagship. I mean, the Note 10 and 10 Plus came out, but you know, those are kind of a different league. This is still one of their main flagships, and I think a lot more people own a Galaxy S10 than a Note 10, but I could probably be wrong about that. But I'm going to be talking about the build quality, the price differences between these two now as well, because the S10 does not cost what it used to, at least in the used market, as well as a lot of different things between these. And I'll even do a speed comparison. I'll hit on the cameras very briefly, but I'll make a whole separate video talking about those. Guys, this is me coming from the future super quickly. I forgot to mention this in this video and the last video, but I'm doing an iPhone XR giveaway. It's completely free to enter. If you want to know the ways to enter, actually, click the second link in the description. It's probably the second, first link, whatever. It'll just say free iPhone XR giveaway open. Click on that video link. It'll take you to a video I made literally like yesterday. Follow the ways to enter. It's completely free. I just want to say thank you for the views being up, I guess. A bigger giveaway should be happening soon, but it's super easy to enter. And you know, one of you guys could win an iPhone XR. So sorry about the interruption. Back to the video. So looking on the front of both of these, we have a 5.8-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display, whatever acronym thing Apple just made. I don't really get it. But it's an OLED display. It's a very nice, it's 1125 by 2436. I like it. I think it's really, really cool. However, I do still think the Samsung display, which I think Samsung still makes this display, but the Samsung display on the Galaxy S10 I think is better. So you have a 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED display. This one is 1440p, and it's a very, very good 1440p panel. One really, really cool thing that Samsung did with this year's display, as you guys already know, is that they put the hole punch display on it. So it doesn't have a notch. It has very little bezel all around the display. Whereas on the iPhone 11 Pro, you can see that there is, you still have a notch on it. Is it crazy? Is it as bad as it used to be? No, I think a lot of us got used to it, but the Galaxy S10's display, I think, is not only better, but it's also, you know, it's a high resolution, but it just looks better too because of that lack of the notch and the lack of the bezels pretty much everywhere else. So a really cool thing Samsung was able to do there. In terms of the rest of the feeling of the phone, I'll tell you straight up, the Galaxy S10 feels like the more premium device, okay? Even looking at the chassis of both phones, I can tell you that the Galaxy S10 does feel, I don't know what it is. I think this is like brushed aluminum or brushed metal or something. Maybe they have the same type of feeling, but with the iPhone 11 Pro, you just kind of get the thickness of the phone. You feel the thickness, but the Galaxy S10 gives that illusion because of the tapered edges on the sides that the phone is actually more thinner than it is, which it really isn't. They're about the same thickness, I would say. Maybe the 11 Pro is a little thicker, but the S10 does kind of give the facade that it is thinner because of the tapered edges. And on the back, we have the same glass. We have glass on the back of both of them, triple camera setups as well. However, you can feel, in my opinion, I think the frosted glass back is cool, but I do like the glass back, the standard glass back on the back of the Galaxy S10. So that's just me. You have a headphone jack on the Galaxy S10. You like the headphone jack on the iPhone 11 Pro. And in terms of the outside, that's pretty much the main difference between them. They're both phones, they both, do the same functions, but I would probably tell you the Galaxy S10 not only has a better display, but also kind of just feels better in the hand. But some people might actually like this frosted back. I think I do like it sometimes, but when you're comparing them to apples, I think the S10 just feels a little bit better. That's pretty much them on the outside and the screens. Now talking about the software, this is the biggest advantage of iOS and owning an iPhone, okay? The Samsungs might have the better build qualities, might have some more features here and there, but the iPhone will actually outlast the Samsung counterpart, when they're usually released the same year. So the iPhone last year will outlast the Samsung of last year because of the software support. So right now you're looking at about 3 versions of software for the Galaxy S10, so it'll last you about 3 years. And the reason I'm kind of hesitant to say that is because Samsung kind of is starting to focus on their software a little bit more, so they could, maybe lengthen the span of that. I don't think they will, but there could be a possibility. But as of right now, me making this video, that's my opinion on that. However, on the iOS side, dude, this thing will not only outlast the Galaxy S10, but it'll probably outlast the Galaxy S11 and probably the Galaxy S12 as well in terms of software support. Maybe even the S13, who knows? But that's how crazy Apple is for their software support, That's the biggest advantage that you get when you're getting an iPhone, you're getting that software support, the lengthen of the phone's basically life cycle. So with that being said, the Samsung phone might have the better build quality, the better screen, but the iPhone does have the better iOS and software support. So But that pretty much covers them in terms of the build quality, the software. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a speed comparison between them. I have some simple apps between the two. Nothing too crazy, but it kind of gives us an idea of, what phone can do what. The iPhone 11 Pro, though, I'll go ahead and run over some specs, has the Apple A13 Bionic chip, a hexa-core CPU, and 4GB of RAM, where the Galaxy S10 has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 chipset, an octa-core CPU, and all variants of the Samsung Galaxy S10 have 8GB of RAM, so twice the amount of RAM on the S10 than on the iPhone 11 Pro, but doesn't really matter. iOS does a better job at RAM management, but let's go ahead and see which one is the faster device between these two. So let's go ahead and clear out all the apps in the background. Let me go ahead and close all. And I think I already cleared them all out on the iPhone 11 Pro. Yes, I did. So let's go ahead and load up these apps. Let's do Quizlet. 3, 2, 1. The iPhone 11 Pro actually opened that one up faster. I was not expecting that. Let's do Dropbox. 3, 2, 1. And again, the iPhone 11 Pro was able to open that app faster. Kind of weird. I wasn't expecting that already. Let's do Bofa. 3, 2, 1. And actually the Galaxy S10 opened that one up faster. So that's kind of weird. We were getting like 50-50 on both so far. Let's do Thank You. 3, 2, 1. And the Galaxy S10 actually got into that one faster. Now getting into some gameplay. Again, like I said, it's a very basic game, so it's not going to be too crazy. But you can see they perform almost exactly the same. Let's do Fruit Ninja. 3, 2, 1. And the iPhone 11 Pro actually got into that one faster. Let's get into some gameplay to see if they stutter at all. You might actually be able to hear them. And like I said, this is a very basic game. You're not going to notice too much of a difference, but you might see some stuttered frames every once in a while. Once you kind of get too crazy in Fruit Ninja, you kind of start seeing things. But overall, you can tell, not too crazy of a difference. Let's do Real Racing 3. 3, 2, 1. I do think, okay, so on the Galaxy S10, we actually do have to continue downloading some things. So I'm going to have to go ahead and restart this one once this one gets to the next phase. Okay, let's go ahead and do Real Racing 3 again. 3, 2, 1. And as you can see, yes, the iPhone 11 Pro actually got into it faster than on the Samsung Galaxy S10. And the S10 actually had more time to download the files and everything. And as you can see, it's still going through the loading screen. I don't know what's going on with it. They both should be at around the same exact spot in the game. So it's not like one has a way bigger advantage than the other one. And as you can see, the Real Racing 3 on the Galaxy S10 is still taking forever. I'm not too sure why. So this result, I guess, is inconclusive, but more so for the iPhone 11 Pro side. Let's go and do Snapchat. 3, 2, 1. And they both were kind of similar, honestly. Let's do Temple Run. 3, 2, 1. As you can see, we're going to have to restart it on the iPhone 11 Pro. Temple Run again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, the iPhone 11 Pro actually got into that one faster. All right. Snake versus Blocks. 3, 2, 1. It's like my third time doing it. I kept messing that one up for some reason. And actually, the Galaxy S10 got into that one faster. So that pretty much covers up everything I really wanted to hit on in this comparison. Ultimately, what I can tell you is they both have strong suits. They both have things they're kind of messing up on. There were times the Galaxy S10 was faster, but there were also times the iPhone 11 Pro was faster. So, in my opinion, I don't think one device is way faster than the other one. If anything, they're both fast. I don't think one was way faster than the other one, though, in my opinion. However, you guys can do your own tests, but let me know what you think, between these two. Now, let's go ahead and hit on the camera super quickly. Now, like I said, this is not a full comparison. This is not even close to a full comparison. I will have one coming in the next couple of weeks, so hopefully within a week from now, I'll have them out. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss those. Also, subscribe because of that giveaway, but check that giveaway out, link in the description. We both have triple camera setups on both these devices, which is really, really cool. I love seeing that. On the iPhone 11 Pro, we have 3 12-megapixel sensors. On the Samsung Galaxy S10, we have 2 12-megapixel sensors, as well as a 16-megapixel ultra-wide sensor. You also have an ultra-wide sensor on the iPhone 11 Pro. Both can do 4K up to 60 frames per second, all that good stuff. Core features are pretty much the same on both of them. Looking at the iPhone 11 Pro, I can tell you this camera is very, very good. Even in this really bad lighting and this really bad photo that I'm taking, just the sheer quality of it is very good. I can tell you, I've been taking photos of things, your cat, everything. It's very good. You also have that telephoto lens where you can zoom in, and you also have that ultra wide sensor where you can get much more into a photo. As you can see my hand, you can see my legs. You can get a lot more into a photo with the 11 Pro. And I think this is a very, very good upgrade coming from a 10S. You're getting some cool features. I think the quality is still pretty much the same as before, but that's not saying a bad thing. This quality is still very good. However, as much as I hate to say it, I think the Samsung Galaxy S10's camera is not only better in quality, but you also have more features in this camera app than you do have on iOS. So maybe the camera sensors might be better on iOS, but they're just lacking the features in my opinion. You have way more features, way more customizability on something like a Samsung Galaxy S10 that you don't have on an iOS device. Our iOS device is bad. Absolutely not. Cameras are amazing, but you're probably going to have to, edit the photos later in a separate app or something, or use a separate app to take your photos on iOS than you do on Samsung or Galaxies or even LG devices. They have way more features in their stock camera apps than iOS does. So that's not necessarily an iPhone 11 Pro problem, it's just an iOS problem. So between these two, I still think the Samsung Galaxy S10 has the better camera, but stay tuned for that full camera comparison that should be dropping within the next week or two. Now let's talk about the battery life between these. The iPhone 11 Pro has a 3046 mAh battery, which is pretty good, a substantial upgrade coming from the previous model, the XS. However, the Galaxy S10 has a 3400 mAh battery. They both have wireless charging. The Galaxy S10 has fast wireless charging, which is super cool, but the S10 also has a really cool feature of reverse wireless charging. So you can go and charge an iPhone 11 Pro from a Galaxy S10, but you cannot do that vice versa. You cannot charge a Galaxy S10 from an iPhone 11 Pro. So not only does the Galaxy S10 win, I think, in sheer battery quality, but it also wins in just finesse and the features of that extra wireless charging and the reverse wireless charging. That's super cool. So ultimately, what I can tell you is that obviously you should not be going from a Galaxy S10 to an 11 Pro or an 11 Pro to a Galaxy S10. They're both in the same league for sure. I can't believe I dropped that stupid phone. The 11 Pro, obviously being the newer device, is kind of better. You're getting the software support, you're getting, the speed, and iOS, all those features within it. But, it's even hard for me to come up for reasons to, advantages that the 11 Pro has over the S10. I feel like the S10 still has more advantages than the 11 Pro the more I think about it. You have the headphone jack, you have a better camera setup in my opinion, but that's completely debatable. Better battery life, speed, they're almost the same on both. The screen I said was better. Micro SD card slot on the Samsung Galaxy S10. Reverse wireless charging. I think, dude, the Galaxy S10 I think is the better device between these, but here's the better thing. In the used market, the Galaxy S10 is so much cheaper now than it was before. You can probably pick one of these up for like $400 or $500, probably even less than that. That's like half the price of a brand new iPhone 11 Pro. So dude, I would tell you, if you had to choose one of these, pick up a used Samsung Galaxy S10. You can get them for super cheap now. Or you can wait a couple months for the 11 Pro's prices to go down, but the 11 Pro will not see the depreciation that the Galaxy S10 saw. So between these two, if the Galaxy S10 was a 10 out of 10, the 11 Pro is probably like a 9 out of 10. It's just missing some of those quirky, cool features like reverse wireless charging, micro SD card slot, headphone jack, things like that. But Apple's never going to put a headphone jack in their phone again. They're not going to put a micro SD card slot in their phone. So ultimately, that's pretty much it. Also, I'll find the cheapest Galaxy S10 and link it down in the description. I'll find it through Amazon so you guys can help support the channel at the same time. If you guys have any questions or you have a bias towards the 11 Pro or S10, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know which one you think is better. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it would mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.